Alex, it's Mom. For your 21st birthday, you asked me to write you a cookbook. And I thought about it and realized that your generation really likes to watch videos. So I thought I would write the cookbook, but also do some videos. And hopefully you'll enjoy these videos. I had a lot of stress about my hair. Did I look, like a big whale? I wanted to look nice for you, but I'm at a point now where it's really more about just giving you the information. So I hope that you appreciate these videos and that they are useful to you. And this first video that I'm going to talk to you about is going to be talking about how to equip your kitchen. And before I talk about anything specific, I think it's an important life lesson whenever you're buying anything to do research. You can read reviews, you can read articles, you can also talk to people and ask them what they like. But when it comes to equipping your first kitchen, if you're going to be like me, you're going to start out with a lot of secondhand stuff, and people will give you things. You'll find some things you like, some things you don't. You can find a lot of really great stuff at Goodwill. You can also find really good stuff on Facebook Marketplace or Nextdoor Marketplace. Sometimes people are downsizing and they're getting rid of really great stuff. So the bottom line is to be patient. What I'm going to talk to you about is what I think you need to have the essential equipment in your kitchen so that you can cook with confidence and do pretty much any recipe that you want to try or that I've put in the book. So, like I said, do your research. You don't have to buy the best quality, but don't buy the cheapest. I usually find when you buy the cheapest, you end up replacing it very soon, and it's a waste of money. So the first thing I'm going to talk to you about is pans, and I think you should buy stainless steel pans. The reason being, stainless steel cleans up relatively well. It's very solid, it lasts for a while, and it's easy to keep hygienic. It doesn't have the non-stick coating, and that's because in pots, I think that when you cook with pots with non-stick coating, you tend to think that they're invincible, and you forget. And this is anybody, you use, metal utensils, or you use a knife or a fork to grab something, and it's really easy to damage that surface. So if you start with just basic stainless steel, you're going to have something that's going to be relatively easy to maintain. And if you learn to temper when you cook your temperatures, you shouldn't have too much baked on stuff to deal with, because when stuff sticks, it's usually because your temperature was too high or you forgot it. So the first pot that I think you should have is a 2-quart saucepan. And this is one from Cuisinart. I got it on Amazon for I think $30-ish. And it's really a great pot. It's got a nice solid metal handle. It's got a little hole here so you can hang it on a pot rack. And I like metal handles because you can put them in the stove, in the oven part, without any issues. So for a 2-quart saucepan, I think this is a good one to start with. This, like I said, is Cuisinart, which is a good brand, good quality, pretty consistent. The second pot that I think you should have is a 4-quart saucepan. And the first one you're going to use to make like small amounts of sauces. You're going to use it to reheat soup, to do ramen, to do, a little bit of a leftover. This one is going to be something that you're going to make a bigger quantity of food in, or boil, 14 cups of water if you might need to do that when you're blanching vegetables. It's essentially the double of the one I just showed you. And this is also Cuisinart, and it's, again, they're like not entry level, it's not their most expensive, it's kind of like middle of the road to low end, I would say. And I think this was about $35-40. So these two are definitely workhorses. And then you should have an 8-quart stock pot, or a stew pot, or an 8-quart pot, whatever you want to call it. Some people who are sticklers are going to say a stock pot has to be taller and thinner, but for the purpose of use starting out in your kitchen. An 8-quart stainless steel, heavy quality, is really great because it works with gas ranges, works with electric ranges, works with induction ranges. You want to make sure that the surface is flat if you're buying it secondhand and that it's not blemished, because that's just going to help with heat conduction. So those are the 3 pots: the 8-quart, the 4-quart, and the 2-quart. And while we're talking about pots, I want to talk to you about pans. The first 2 pans I think you should invest in. If you're only going to buy one, I think you should buy a 12-inch non-stick pan with a metal handle. Again, look for something with holes so that if you want to hang it, it's easy to do. This is a green pan. I got it at Home Goods for $13 on clearance. And why I'm suggesting you get non-stick pans as opposed to stainless steel is because when you start cooking in pans, you tend to be sauteing and your temperatures are higher, and it's really easy to get stuff to stick. So until you're proficient at working with stainless steel, I think a non-stick 12-inch is a great way to go. It's the bigger pan, and I always think if you're only going to buy one, buy the bigger one, because you can cook 1 egg on a big pan, but you can't cook several eggs on a small pan. If you have it in your budget and you want to buy a second one, I think that you should buy this non-stick 10-inch. Those 2 are really great. They work well. And the 10-inch is just going to be for smaller quantities. If you're making the Spanish tortilla recipe, or if you're making crepes, this is a great size. And this is one from OXO, and I think it came from Amazon. But anyway, those are the 5 pots and pans that I think everyone should start their kitchen with. And like I said, life tip, do your research, buy the best that you can afford, pay cash, don't put stuff on a credit card, and look for quality secondhand stuff, whether it's in a Facebook Marketplace or it's in, Goodwill or Salvation Army. You'd be amazed what you can find if you just put a little bit more time into it. So that's it for the pans, and I'll talk to you about other equipment in another video. Okay? I love you. Happy birthday.